Prodigy. Today, we are going to study a lesson that is continued from the previous lessons about what is a sentence, types of sentence, and how to punctuate sentences. Okay, so today's lesson is about what is a subject. That is a very short introduction to a subject. And in this lesson, I want you to understand very clearly about what is actually a subject and how to use the subjects properly in a sentence. One more thing is that we are going to study about the position of the subjects in the sentence. So where is it? Mostly, you always see a subject of a sentence appear at the beginning of that sentence, but it is not always happen that way. Okay, in order to understand clearer, let's go and study our lessons today. Please watch the video from the beginning until the very ending so that you can understand it clearly. Let's go. So first, we are trying to understand what is a subject of a sentence. Okay, so here is the definition of a subject. Subject is the word or group of words. So it can be word, a single word, or a group of words, a lot of words, that names the person or thing being talked about in the sentence. So simply, when we talk about the subject, we are talking about person or thing that is being talked about in that sentence. And it can be a single word or a lot of words. That is what we call subject. So let's take a look at some examples. Number one, Nemo arrived yesterday. So this is a complete sentence. And if you are trying to find the subject of this sentence, we can say that Nemo here is the subject of this sentence. Because Nemo here is a word, is a single word that refers to a person that is being talked about in this sentence. So that is the subject of that sentence. Take a look at example number 2. She can't do it. She here is the subject of this sentence. She here is a word that replaces a noun that refers to a person that is being talked about in this sentence. She here is the subject pronoun. Replace another noun, which is a person, a girl, or a woman. So she here is the subject of this sentence. Now take a look at number 3. The door suddenly opened. In this sentence, the door is the subject. Why? Because the door here is a group of words. We have word the and word door. So 2 words, but they are group of words. So this group of words refer to things that is being talked about in this sentence. So the door is the subject of this sentence. So number 1, Nemo is the subject. Number 2, she is the subject. And number 3, the door is the subject. So these 3 subjects in all the 3 sentences are what we call express subjects. So I think that you can know how to identify a subject of a simple sentence now. So by taking a look at the imperative sentences, things are a little bit different. So first, let's review a little bit. What is imperative sentence? Imperative sentence is sentence that makes command or makes request. So, imperative sentences usually have no express subject. Okay, have no express subject. So which means that in the imperative sentences, we use unexpressed subjects, which means that we do not need to express the subjects. Just like these three examples. Sit down, please. Number 2, don't say that. Number 3, tell me everything. So actually these three imperative sentences have subjects. So what are they? Actually, in the imperative sentences, the subjects are always you. And we use the unexpressed subjects here, which is you, in the imperative sentences only if we are trying to emphasize or distinguish between people or group of people. For example, you sit down, please. You don't say that. You tell me everything. Or when you are trying to distinguish, giving command to two specific people. Don't lie. You sit down, please. And this man, you stand up. In questions, exclamations, and objective sentences, the subject of the sentence usually does not come at the beginning of the sentence. So let's take a look at these 4 examples. Number 1 and number 2. Are you coming along? Number 2. How did he do that? So the subject of sentence number 1 is you. The subject of sentence number 2 is he. And both sentences are question sentences. Number 3. What an idiot I am. This is exclamation sentence. And the subject is here. I is the subject. What about number 4? Long live the king. Long live the king. So the subject is actually the king. This is what we call objective sentence. And by taking a look again at all these 4 subjects, you, he, I, and king, they are not placed at the beginning of each sentence. Okay, let's continue to the next point. Okay, so the subject of a sentence is necessarily the person who performs the activity described in the sentence. Is this right or wrong? No, it is wrong to think like that. Why? Let me explain you in the 3 examples below. Let's take a look at example 1 first. Chitra gave him a book. So Chitra here is the subject of this sentence. Why? Because the sentence is describing what Chitra did. So Chitra is the subject of sentence number 1. But things are different when we take a look at these 2 sentences, number 2 and number 3. In these 2 sentences, even Chitra is still the person who performed the activity of giving the book, but he is the subject of both sentences, sentence number 2 and sentence number 3. Why? Because the sentences are describing what happened to him. Here come to the end of our lessons about subject. I hope that you will learn a lot from these lessons. If you like the content, do not forget to click subscribe and leave comments below in the comment section so that I will know what needs to be done in the next video. Okay, goodbye.